Now on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, Seadrift City Council has decided what's on the ballot. The details are just ahead. And Bloomington residents continue to raise concerns. What they're calling for, that's coming up. Plus an update on the California wildfires as they continue to spread.
And for us in the Crossroads, in the short term, we've got rain in the forecast for today. We already got some rain out there on our radar. We'll take a look at that. But in the long term, we've got a monster winter storm coming back to Texas. Yeah, another one. And will winter precipitation be possible down here? We'll talk about that in the weather coming up.
And Victoria East and West women's basketball battled at home last night. They're in district play. I'll tell you all that coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and happy Wednesday.
That's right, happy Wednesday. I like to call it Weather Wednesday.
We've heard this before, Parker.
Oh, yeah, Weather Wednesday. I'd probably say that. You've probably seen that.
But something you haven't heard yet, most likely, are the plans for the MLK March for Monday.
That's right.
All over the community, we've been searching for these answers, and I got the official details confirmed overnight. So it's going to start at 10 a.m. Monday, the march, at Palestine Baptist Church, and it'll end at Bethlehem Baptist Church. And they'll have a program with a guest speaker. It'll be Pastor Larry Green. We've had him on Community Crossroads a few times.
We have, actually.
And you actually went to the march last year, Parker.
That's right, I did last year. And in fact, if y'all remember last year's MLK Day, it was quite cold last year. Last year's MLK Day was on the 15th of January. This year's on the 20th? I think it's 20th.
On Inauguration Day.
On Inauguration Day, next Monday. But same thing as last year. We've got another cold MLK Day and another cold. It's going to be really chilly out there, y'all, so get ready for that. And we also have another chance for winter precipitation. And we'll look at all of that later on Sunrise, because before we get to all of that, first things first, we've already got some rain out there this morning. You're looking at that radar right now. You can see plenty of scattered showers out there this morning. We're going to go county by county here, kind of see like where all the main rain is located right now. You can see here on the coastal counties first, not too much rain out there on the coast. You got a couple sprinkles out there coming up towards Port Lavaca and eastern parts of Calhoun County. Same thing over Refugio County. About 80% of y'all are seeing some sprinkles and light drizzle this morning. Otherwise, all the heavier rain and actual showers are located in our inland counties, as you can see here. I'm just going to say, if you don't see rain right now, which is probably about 70% of y'all seeing rain right now, probably raining outside your window. If you don't see that, you're going to see some here probably the next 10 minutes. As you can see, all that is heading east-northeast, right where you come in your direction, probably the next, like I said, 10 minutes. But if you're also tuning in with us around the state, a bit chilly up North Texas, and actually all around the state. They're still up below freezing up in North Texas, but we're all starting our day in the Crossroads in the upper 40s and low 50s this morning. So bundle up this morning, but also grab that umbrella because of the rain. And also, no need for sunglasses today, because you can see the cloud deck is still on top of us thanks to the Pacific jet stream and an extratropical low next to our coast. Not going to turn into anything, but what we will be watching over the next several days is this system and these two systems in the Pacific, because those two combined will bring us another winter storm into Texas as we start off the next week. And we're going to look at all that later on Sunrise, because if you're seeing your kiddos at the door this morning, like I said, packing that umbrella, maybe packing that jacket. It's going to be a bit of a wet and cool rainy day today. We'll look at the details of your day more coming up next.
The Seadrift City Council has approved a May election for mayor and 3 council seats. The city's mayoral position has been vacant since last August. The council also talked about water pressure issues which fall below TCEQ standards during hydrant use or flushing. A new pump is on the way, but for now, the city remains under a boil water notice. Also happening in Seadrift, police chief interviews and animal control fees are still on hold until a new director is hired. The Victoria City Council is holding a special meeting to consider major renovations to the community center. The council will consider a resolution for a venue project which would need voter approval. The master plan finalized last year includes upgrades costing $35 to $45 million. The renovations would allow the center to host multiple events at once. The local government code states the council must adopt a venue project before placing any measures on the ballot for consideration. The special council meeting starts at 2 p.m. this afternoon in council chambers. Bloomington residents are concerned about the quality of the community's tap water. They want answers, but so far they've gotten little response from officials. Tiki Vengler is a Bloomington resident and a community advocate. Says that calls to the water department about the unusual color and smell of the water have gone unanswered.
My concern is that some of our citizens in Bloomington, I buy drinking water. Some of the citizens in Bloomington are not having that as an option. They haven't been told to boil water. I wouldn't know that that's appropriate or not, but that's not water that I would feel comfortable drinking.
Spengler says with questions unanswered, the community needs to know what's going on. This morning, Los Angeles County is once again facing the most severe wind warning, raising the threat of new fires. Heavy winds could also spread existing fires. The massive Palisades fire was just 17% contained overnight, and the death toll continues to rise.
This morning, emergency crews have transformed the Rose Bowl from a stadium to a wildfire command center as they prepare for yet another round of powerful winds, possibly fueling more fires in Southern California. High winds are forecast to hit again today from Central California to the Mexican border.
We're watching really closely for wind gusts of 45 to even 70 miles per hour.
Tens of thousands of people remain under mandatory evacuation orders. Another 84,000 people under evacuation warnings have been warned, be ready to leave.
When we're giving you warnings, that's the time you should probably think about going.
The two largest fires, the Palisades and Eaton fires, have destroyed more than 12,000 homes and businesses, killing at least 25 people.
It was literally shooting like fireballs. It looked like a volcano.
Zaire Calvin lost his sister in the Eaton fire. He says they got separated while evacuating.
That's where they found her remains. And I don't know why she didn't leave. It's just so much. It's just so much. The life has been sucked out of us as a community.
Susan Salser says she watched the Palisades fire approach her home from her kitchen window. The 85-year-old fought the fire with her 86-year-old husband, Winston, saving their home.
I used the hose to control the ground fire and stop that end of the house from burning.
Health officials have now issued a dust and ash advisory warning of air pollution as people across the area scramble for shelter.
I've reached out to a couple places and a lot of them have already been taken. And one of them that I applied for upped the rent $1,000 an hour after I applied.
Realtors say prospective tenants are so desperate, some are offering to pay double the listed rent for an entire year up front. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Pete Hegseth's confirmation hearing began on Tuesday. President-elect Trump's pick for defense secretary is being questioned by the Senate Armed Services Committee. Hegseth followed his prepared opening statement almost exactly as it was written, emphasizing Trump's America First agenda and Hegseth's commitment to support the warfighter. Hegseth, a combat veteran and former Fox News host, has faced serious opposition to his nomination with questions about his qualifications. Comments he made suggesting women should not serve in combat roles and allegations of sexual assault and alcohol abuse. He has denied any wrongdoing. The Victoria Police Department and the Fire Department are hosting the first Lunch and Learn of the year. It's a presentation on human trafficking at the community center starting at 11 a.m. and goes on until 1 p.m. this afternoon. Anyone interested can register at victoriapd.com. The Civilian Police Academy Alumni Association will provide lunch. And remember, follow us on our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit that like button and click the notification bell. The time now, let's get a look at our clock. It is 6:37 on our Wednesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. A local nonprofit says thank you to its volunteers.
With just days to go until President-elect Trump's inauguration, we're expecting more tense confirmation hearings today in the Senate. I'm Nicole D'Antonio in Washington with details on what we can expect.
And also coming up next after the break in the short-term forecast for today, we got lots more rain coming our way. We'll take a look at the timing of when that starts and ends for us. But later on Sunrise, we got a look at this winter storm that is going to be coming towards Texas. Will we see that winter precip? All that later. Well, good morning, Crossroads. You're looking live in Cuero. Can't really see it. The clouds are still over us this morning, and it's still chilly out there. We're sitting right now at 49 degrees in Cuero to start out your day. Wind chill, I don't know why it's still matching because we still have a wind out there. Wind chill should probably be about -1 or 2 degrees less than that. So I still recommend bundling up, but I also still recommend getting that umbrella if you're headed out the door early this morning because we still got lots of rain out there pretty scattered in nature, and we're going to have plenty more to come for the next several hours, actually going into the afternoon time. Because looking at that, just that here in Future Quads and radar, you're going to see lots and lots of heavier rain showers in the morning time. I'm going to press play. Here we go, all the way through the morning. You can see heavier rain, maybe some moderate showers in there, kind of embedded too, but going into the afternoon time, sometime around noon time actually, I think we're going to start seeing the rain activity lightening up a little bit down to light and moderate showers instead of heavier showers that we're expecting in the morning time. And then all the way through the rest of the afternoon, it'll continue lightening up all the way down to some drizzle for the late afternoon, early evening time. As you can see, here's 5 p.m. And then sometime after 7, 8, or 9 p.m. is when we'll finally start cutting off the rain back to the mostly cloudy and then partly cloudy skies for overnight tonight and your day for Thursday tomorrow. And after all the rain, after it's all said and done today, we're going to be looking for an average of around a quarter of an inch or just a little bit less for all of us in the crossroads for rain totals. Some of us seeing the heavier rain today may see up to a half an inch, but nothing to really worry about in terms of flooding concerns. But for the rest of this week, underneath the clouds, we're going to be in the 50s for today, but we're warming back to the 70s this weekend. And then that big Arctic front gets here. We've got alert days next week and even possible winter precipitation. We're going to take a look at all of that coming up next.
All right, how's it going here, Crossroads? We had some big time women's high school hoops here in the Crossroads. There was both Victoria East and Victoria West there. So first we're going to start with Victoria East women's basketball. They played Randall High School there last night, and both teams heading this game were fighting there for second place in district play. And this game went back and forth, but Randall would hang on to get the victory there. 54-47 there for Randall. Leading scorers though last night there for Victoria East there was Cam Jackson. She had 12 points, and then Avery Valentine had 12 points there as well. So East, they're going to have to respond because they got Friday off before they got to play next Tuesday night at Victoria West there. That one should be a showdown to watch for sure. Now, speaking of Victoria West, they faced Fort Bend Kemner there at home there last night, and they didn't look back there in that one. They won this game 71-18 there at home, and West, they dominated from the first half with Anicia Scott, Courtney Lacey leading the way there for the Lady Warriors. And again, also they got big contributions as well from Azai Morgan there last night. And again, for West now, they will be playing on Friday there against Richmond Randall, the team that just beat there, again, Victoria East there last night. They're on the road there this Friday night. I think that one's going to be a good close battle to watch out for too. They don't want to get too ahead of themselves there, playing that battle there with Victoria East there next Tuesday night. This is Max Williams, 25 News Now Sports.
This morning, the Senate kicks off more confirmation hearings for President-elect Trump's cabinet nominees. It comes as President Biden prepares to deliver his farewell address to the nation.
Today, President-elect Trump's pick for Attorney General Pam Bondi faces her Senate confirmation hearing. She's likely to face questions over Trump's pledge to use the Justice Department to pursue revenge on his political enemies, and her public statements backing Trump in his efforts to challenge the 2020 election results. Bondi's hearing comes a day after Trump's pick for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth faced contentious questioning. The veteran and former Fox News host defending his qualifications to lead the world's most powerful fighting force, and whether his management experience is sufficient.
We will reestablish trust in our military, addressing the recruiting crisis, the retention crisis, and readiness crisis in our ranks.
But he repeatedly deflected on questions from Democrats over allegations of sexual assault, excessive drinking, and his previous views of not wanting women in combat, instead casting himself as the victim of false and anonymous smears. Combat veterans on both sides of the aisle shared concerns but came to different conclusions.
You say you care about keeping our armed forces strong and that you like that our armed forces are meritocracy, then let's not lower the standards for you. You, sir, are a no-go at this station.
Senator Joni Ernst, a combat veteran herself, raising her own questions on Hegseth's stances.
As Secretary of Defense, will you support women continuing to have the opportunity to serve in combat roles?
Yes, women will have access to ground combat roles, given the standards remain high.
But at the end of the day, she told a local Iowa radio station she was satisfied.
Joe Biden.
Meanwhile, President Biden is expected to address the nation for the final time tonight from the Oval Office, where he will tout what he says are his top achievements while in office.
It's clear. My administration is leaving the next administration with a very strong hand to play. And we're leaving them in America with more friends and stronger alliances, whose adversaries are weaker and under pressure. An America that once again is leading.
The last time Biden addressed the nation from behind the Resolute desk was when he announced his decision to withdraw from the 2024 campaign. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. Today we want to know, do you support the nomination of Pete Hegseth as Defense Secretary? 77% of you say yes and 23% of you say no. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. Volunteers who are helping clean up Victoria were honored at the 3rd annual Keep Victoria Beautiful Volunteer Appreciation event. Keep Victoria Beautiful is a nonprofit organization that celebrates individuals who help clean the city. The executive director says it's a team effort to keep the city attractive to residents and visitors.
They are enthusiastic about where our community is going and their investment in it.
To learn more about Keep Victoria Beautiful and their events, call their office or visit them online. You're about to look at interstellar dust captured by NASA's James Webb Telescope. There it is. But what's unique here is that the telescope captured infrared glow created by an ancient supernova as it illuminated interstellar material. The pulse X-rays and ultraviolet light created layers as they traveled outward from the collapsed star, peeling through those layers, giving astronomers a new perspective. They now think every dusty region may actually look like this on the inside with tightly packed layers like an onion. Still to come on Sunrise. News to know before you go. The president of an East Asian nation now arrested by anti-corruption investigators. All right, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happiest of birthday wishes to Lillian. We're so proud of you and your family loves you so much. Happy 6th birthday.
Hello, happy 6th birthday, Lillian, and also happy 27th birthday to Trevor. Happy birthday to my big brother. That's so sweet. I hope you have an amazing day today. Lots of love from your favorite little sis, Ronnie.
Happy birthday to Tacho. Happy milestone birthday to this man I'm so blessed to call my husband. 60 never looks so good. Cheers to many more years, mi amor. Can't wait to celebrate you.
Ooh, a big happy 60th, Mr. Tacho. And happy birthday to Marina. Happy 21st birthday, Marina, from Elliot and Mom. We love you.
Happy birthday to Deborah, to the most beautiful wife in Inez, from your handsome husband, Royce.
That's so sweet. Happy birthday, Deborah. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, just go to crossroadstoday.com, click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
It's very easy, and I want to wish a happy birthday to Dwayne. I hope you and Katie are going to celebrate with your Mizzou mugs this morning.
That's so sweet. Well, happy birthday, Dwayne, and happy birthday if you're celebrating with us today. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. I'm sure if you tuned in with us earlier this morning, you probably heard me say something along the lines of snow and ice possible in the Crossroads. Well, that still looks like it's a possibility, very low possibility, but we're going to look at all that here in a second. We're going to get into all the nitty-gritty details in a second, but we got to first start with the big picture to see kind of what we're working with as we go into the weekend and next week. Starting out with the satellite you can see over the continental United States. Pretty clear for most of the United States. We've got some patchy areas of clouds, but down here in Texas, we got the Pacific jet stream picking up overhead, thanks to a couple systems. For one, we have an extratropical low forming right off of our coast, which is going to bring us the rain today. And we also have an upper level low system. You can see it right there spinning kind of clockwise. That system just brought them the wildfires to California and all those extremely dry winds. Both those systems are bringing the clouds over us right now. But as we go into the weekend and over the next 7 days into next week, we've got to start looking at a few different systems. We've got to look at these two systems, one behind the banner way up here in northern Canada and the other one just now making onshore onto Alaskan soil. Right now you can see over just west of Anchorage. And then we have another system way out here in the deeper central Pacific. That one is going to be the one that turns into a winter storm as it goes into Texas for Monday and Tuesday of next week. These other two systems are going to continue moving northeast, and they are going to grab a piece of the polar vortex, and it's going to send it a little bit further south, sending all that very, very cold air over top of us, even as far south as the coast along the Dixie Alley states. But like I was saying, the other second system out there in the deeper central Pacific, that's going to move a little bit southeastward, probably bringing more wildfires to the state of California as we go into this weekend. But as that goes over the Baja Peninsula and then over the Sierra Madre Mountains over Mexico, it is going to enter Texas, West Texas, likely as a winter storm. And what does that mean for us? Well, depending on where the freezing line is on Tuesday afternoon, I've got it getting up to about 37, so we're going to be above freezing for Tuesday afternoon. But the morning and nighttime of Tuesday, we're going to be below freezing, and we've got rain with the system right next to us. We may see some ice and snow. We're going to look at all of that and more later on Sunrise.
South Korean President Yoon has been arrested for questioning in the latest chapter of a weeks-long political saga that began with the embattled president's shock martial law decree last month. Yoon left his residential compound with investigators in a motorcade this morning and was taken into custody, the first time such an action has been taken against a sitting president in South Korea. Yoon is wanted for questioning and multiple investigations related to his short-lived declaration, including over accusations of leading an insurrection, a crime punishable by life imprisonment or even the death penalty. The Biden administration plans to remove Cuba from the list of state sponsors of terrorism. Former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo designated Cuba as a state sponsor of terrorism in January 2021. Back then, Pompeo said Cuba hadn't followed through its commitments made to President Obama in 2015. President-elect Donald Trump's team is likely to reverse the decision. His choice for Secretary of State Marco Rubio has long backed punitive measures against the island's government. Cuba is just one of 4 nations designated as state sponsors of terrorism, along with North Korea, Iran, and Syria. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. A meeting will be held at the White House today as part of the Trump transition. A meeting will be held at the White House today as part of the Trump transition. Some of President-elect Donald Trump's cabinet picks and national security staff are expected to meet with President Joe Biden's National Security Council. They will walk through the U.S. government's response to various homeland security threats and scenarios. The meeting comes as the federal government is facing challenges on multiple fronts that have demanded the National Security Council's attention. President-elect Donald Trump says he's planning to create an external revenue service. In a post on social media Tuesday, Trump announced that the new federal agency will collect tariffs and other revenues from foreign nations. He said the External Revenue Service will be formed on Inauguration Day. He has promised massive hikes in tariffs on goods from Mexico, Canada, and China. A SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket successfully launched early this morning from Kennedy Space Center. It's carrying not 1 but 2 lunar landers. The first is called Blue Ghost, part of NASA's effort to return humans to the moon. The second is from a Japanese company which hopes to send payloads to the moon for paying customers. The Blue Ghost should reach the moon in 45 days after spending 25 days orbiting Earth and then a couple weeks in lunar orbit. And we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. And I want to just give y'all a quick reminder about the Martin Luther King Jr. Day March. That's going to be starting at 10 a.m. at the Palestine Baptist Church. We have a website. We have an article on our website, crossroadstoday.com, where you can get the details. And now let's get a final look at our very dark morning over there, dark sky over there in Port Lavaca with Parker.
That's right. We do have a little bit of a dark sunrise this morning. I promise the sun is starting to slowly come up over the horizon, but you can't see that. Why? Because we've got some super duper thick clouds over us, and it's a bit rainy. It's actually drizzling right now in Port Lavaca. We'll get that radar after this because it's 49 right now on the coast. A little bit chilly out there. Wind chill's down to 45 right now. See, just as I promised, there is a wind chill out there right now because the winds are between 10 to 15 miles an hour. So with that being said, still a little bit chilly. Bundle up this morning and also grab that umbrella because we've got rain out there right now. You can see scattered showers kind of encompassing all the crossroads as promised. You can see a couple sprinkles and drizzle over there in Port Lavaca right now, but as you can see, plenty more rain to come our way for the rest of the day, and that's exactly why South Texas is going to be a little bit cooler than North Texas today with highs in the low and mid 50s. North Texas is going to be seeing mid and upper 50s for today. But looking closer to home, I'm thinking high 53 today in Port Lavaca. Scattered showers lasting all the way up until somewhere around the early evening. That's right around when it'll start cutting off. off. About the same timing in Victoria for the rain. 54 for the high today, though, and a little bit cooler in Cuero, about 53. Rain cutting off just a little bit earlier than that for y'all. But for the rest of this week, we're going to slowly warm up going into the weekend before that Arctic front gets you to Saturday night. And I'm telling y'all, it's going to be chilly next week, and we still have a chance for ice and snow on Tuesday.
Get that thermal underwear.
That's awesome. There you go, Julia.
All right. Well, thank y'all for being with us this morning. Join Shauna, Dawn, Maclovio, and Max today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. Make it a great, wonderful weather.